Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 739th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. Just to say what a cracking battle we have here today. This is a normal 31k battle, except we've allowed 3 elephants max on this. As you know, we're trying to bring new types of games onto RTW, as it's over 19 years old now. And as I say, you can see we're fighting this on my favourite map, the Germanic Forest map, with the big open plains, as we talked about before, that you can fight out in the open, or you can hide your troops in the woods and spring those nasty ambushes onto enemy troops. And of course, if you bring a barbarian faction, you've got a winter and woods bonus here as well. So I always think there's a lot going for this map. But remember, this is a normal 31k battle, but we've just allowed 3 elephants max per player, okay? So our first teammate is GOTW Romex. Now Romex has got 9 legionnaires, 6 light cavalry, 2 archers and 3 elephants. And how often do you see Numidia brought to the 31k battlefield? Not very often, I would suggest. And I'm sure the only reason that Romex has bought Numidia is because we've allowed 3 elephants max, okay, which makes Numidia a little bit more competitive there. Now if you look at their legionnaires there, you'll see, if you count his upgrades there, they are fully upgraded. 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack, okay. There, another of the units, has got just 8 upgrades on, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Okay, now these legionnaires look a little bit like urban cohorts, but they are very poor. Even fully upgraded, they'll take casualties head on from archers. Their morale is very poor, and in general, they're not very good infantry at all. And that's why you don't see them on the 31k battlefield. In fact, Numidia is probably rated as possibly the weakest faction in the game there. So that's why you very rarely see Numidia on the 31k battlefield. And I'm sure Romex only bought it because we've allowed 3 elephants there. Okay. And there you are. Even their archers are poor. They're only mid-range, very poor specifications. So, as I say, their infantry and archers are poor, and the only decent cavalry they've got are these light cavalry. You can see he's fully upgraded them, the long shield light cavalry. Okay, he has fully upgraded them, 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack, but really the light cavalry is not great either. So Numidia's infantry and missiles are pretty poor, and their cavalry is pretty poor as well. You can see here though, he's bought 3 of the Numidian elephants there. Okay, I'm just trying to see, you can see the general there, he's made one of the elephants his general unit. Remember, these got an 8 attack, they've got 12 hit points and a massive fear factor. Okay, remember, the more morale sapping ability that a unit's got, the more that the enemy are likely to rout with their morale being sapped. So, as I say, bringing 3 elephants for Numidia, look, has made them a little bit more competitive, but their infantry, archers and cavalry are not that great, to be honest. Okay. Our next teammate is RTW player Luke. Now Luke has got 6 archers, 6 cavalry and 8 infantry. Okay, 6 archers, 6 cavalry and 8 infantry. If you look at the upgrade now, he's only got 8 infantry, but he's only put gold shield, gold attack on his infantry. You might think that with a low amount of infantry like that, he would upgrade his infantry well, but no, he's put just gold shield, gold attack, which tells me he spent his money on his cavalry there. And you can see that he's got 8 upgrades on his cavalry, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Okay, this is a Roman army that was bought a few months ago. A lot of people used to bring this type of Roman army a few months ago. Let's say 6 archers, 6 cavalry and 8 infantry. But I haven't seen it on the battlefield for a while now, so I see Luke is resurrecting that. The next teammate is Brotherhood member First Prime. Now First Prime's got 12 pikes, 4 archers and 4 cavalry. If you have a look at the upgrades on his pikes there, you'll see he's got 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack on most of his pikes. Okay, and if we go down to the other end of his pike formation there, you'll see that some of his units have just got gold shield, gold attack on. So he's certainly got mixed upgrades with his pikes there. But he's still got those massively long pikes there. Remember, the enemy troops have got to fight all the way down those long pikes to kill the man on the other end. So that's still pretty formidable pikes there. And a quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry, and he's just got gold shield, gold attack on his companion cavalry. Remember, this companion cavalry have got a massive 9 charge bonus. So that's the impact and penetration that they've got on enemy troops. So that's a pretty good Macedonian army there. It'll be interesting to see how First Prime used it. And we're going to talk about First Prime and a little bit of history of Rome Total War a little bit later on. Okay, and our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander. I've got 13 Spartans and 5 archers. Just to show you here that I've got 4 elite long-range Cretan archers and one of the cheap shorter range archers there as well, but they can still be quite effective even though they are cheap and short range. So there's our team. It's got the potential to be a great battle, and I hope you enjoy it. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Barclayman. Now Barclayman's got 13 Sacred Band Spearmen, 3 Slingers and 3 Elephants. Okay, if you look at the upgrades on his battle formation here, his forward units have just got gold shield, gold attack on there. Okay, these are the guys that's going to make first contact with the enemy, take the pillars, take the first casualties. And then behind him there you'll see that the other rows of troops in this battle formation have got 7 upgrades on, and experience, stripe, gold shield, gold attack. So his elite troops are in the further part of the battle formation here. So the first 2 units, as I say, will make first contact with the enemy, take the first casualties, weaken them, and then those more elite troops will then move in to finish off the weakened enemy troops. I think that's the thinking behind that battle formation. Be interesting to see how well he uses that. And there's the elephants there. If you notice there that they're not the armoured elephants, they're just the ordinary elephants with archers on the back. So their archers are shooting into enemy troops. Remember, like we said, these elephants have got 12 hit points, a big 8 attack, and a massive morale sapping ability. But sneaky Barclayman there, look, is hiding those elephants at the back there. Can you see, hide them in the woods there, hoping we won't notice them there. So once again, sneaky Barclayman strikes again. Right. And their next teammate is a Brotherhood member, Get Jacked. Nice to see Get Jacked back on RTW. Now, Get Jacked's got 14 infantry, 3 cavalry, 2 archers, 1 incendiary pig unit, and an old school armoured cavalry general as well. So he's certainly got a lot of different units there in his army. If you notice there, some of his infantry have just got gold shield, gold attack on. Other of his infantry have got an experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack on. So he's got mixed upgrades. And there's one unit with 8 upgrades on, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. So he certainly has got varied upgrades on his infantry there. Okay. Also, let's draw your attention there. So he's got an eagle unit, and the reason he's got an eagle unit there is because that eagle unit will give his infantry morale there. Okay, well, his armoured cavalry general he can then take all over the battlefield there. Okay, remember, this is very old school. We all used to use this as our Roman armoured cavalry general up to about 12 or 13 years ago, when most of us switched to an infantry general there. So it's definitely old school there. As I say, the eagle unit will give his infantry morale bonus while his general's away, and if you notice, his cavalry's just got gold shield, gold attack on there. So that's an interesting Roman army build there. And there's his incendiary pigs. Now remember, the Romans back in the day, they used to cover these pigs in oil, set fire to the poor pigs, and as the pigs ran towards enemy elephants, the squealing of the burning pigs and the smell of the burning pigs used to scare the enemy elephants, and then make the enemy elephants run amok and leave the battlefield. Very cruel on the pigs there, but apparently it was very effective against enemy elephants. So that's what the Romans used to do. And as I say there, he's bought those incendiary pigs to be able to try and neutralise Romex, his elephants there. So that's why he's bought that unit. And on Rome Total War, those units are very effective against elephants. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Lando. Now Lando's got 9 infantry, 6 archers and 5 cavalry. Okay, 9 infantry, 6 archers and 5 cavalry. He's just got gold shield, gold attack on his infantry. Okay, but usually he brings serious cavalry here, and if we just count the upgrades, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fully upgraded cavalry. Okay, fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry. That takes him out of the elite bracket into the super cavalry bracket. Fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry are extremely powerful there. Plus he's got his 6 archers, so he's bringing a lot of firepower to the battlefield as well. So that's what I would say is Lando's standard Roman army there, what you're seeing. And our last teammate, if we can find him hiding in the woods here, is that's Brotherhood member Uther there. Now Uther has got 8 pikes, 1 legionnaire, 1 elephant, 1 chariot, and 5 cavalry. Of course, you can't see all his units because they're hiding in the woods there, but he's got a very I think he's got a pretty good Seleucid army there, and it'll be interesting to see how well he used it during the course of the battle. So there's the enemy team. It's got the potential to be a cracking battle. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I thought we'd give you a little bit of history, RTW history, in regard of the mighty Core clan. A lot of veterans remember the Core clan, C-O-R, and how First Prime was in charge of that Core clan. Now, the Core clan originally started on Shogun, by a player called Ironclad. He then took the clan onto Medieval Total War 2, and then took the clan onto Rome Total War, where I believe he stopped playing computer games then, and I believe First Prime took over the command of the Core clan. Okay, now the Core clan was a CWB clan, and just to let you know, in the early years of Rome Total War, all the clans except for the Brotherhood were CWB clans. So they were CWB elite clans there with elite players in. And the Core clan won tournaments, the CWB tournaments, 2 years in a row under the command of First Prime. So let's put that into context there. So with loads and loads of elite CWB clans, the Core clan won it 2 years in a row. So it just goes to show how good the Core clan were at CWB. Now remember, when CWB first started, the money was 12,500 denarii each, and then I think after a couple of years there, that went up to 15,000 denarii each, what players play today. But it did start off at 12,500 denarii each. Now just to say that also the Core clan, I believe, came second in the TWPL league kind of tournament. Now TWPL stands for Total War Players League, and they came second in that as well. So it just goes to show how good this Core clan was under the stewardship of First Prime. Just to give you some names there, some of you veterans watching this might remember these names. Get ready. There was Danny, if you remember there. Can you remember Danny? He was there. There was Fail, there was Sarge, there was Ultra, and there was Vissa, and there was a lot more as well that unfortunately I can't remember. I believe that the Core clan at its peak had somewhere between 20 to 30 players in them. And as I say, they started off as a CWB clan, and as I say, they won 2 CWB tournaments in the days when there were loads and loads of elite CWB clans on RTW, and then gradually they started to play 25k, 30k and 31k, so they could play all the different monies there, and they were very good at all the different monies. Now those of you that might like a little bit of nostalgia history, if you on this channel go to Battle 108, you will see the last battle between the Brotherhood and the Core clan. Okay, so it's Battle 108, and as I say, what a cracking battle that was. Please excuse the commentary. I was still trying to learn how to do a good commentary in those days, but the battle itself is really good. So as I say, if you're interested in a bit of nostalgia to see a battle between the Core clan and the Brotherhood clan, then it's Battle 108. And I think you'll enjoy that battle. But as I say, First Prime was in charge of Core from I think something like 2005 onwards there, and as I say, they really prospered under his command, winning 2 CWB tournaments against loads of elite players, and coming second in the TWPL tournament as well. So just to give you a bit of a history there, and say that First Prime and Core did extremely well. First Prime took a long break from Rome Total War, and most of the Core clan went their own way then, which was a bit sad. Hope you enjoyed this bit of history. Okay, at this stage of the battle, you'll see that Romex is bringing his Numidian army over from the right flank to a centre position here. He's moving it over to the right centre there, so that, as we know, Numidia being probably looked upon as the weaker faction in this battle, he wanted to position his army in between First Prime and Luke's army there. Okay, so that's why he's brought it over from the right flank over to the right centre there, so that he could have protection from his allies there if needed. Okay, so I think that's a good tactical move there by Romex in doing that. to get as much protection as he can from his allies there, because probably the enemy will look upon his army as the weak link. Here you can see Get Jack's moving his Roman armoured cavalry general forward a bit here. Remember, this unit could be used as a nuisance. It can harass and harangue enemy troops, disrupt enemy troops as well. So it'll be interesting to see how Get Jack uses this unit. Can you see he's got it in open order as well, so that he will suffer less missile damage from enemy troops there. So it'll be interesting to see, as I say, how well he'll use that. Let's say you can see we've got all our archers there ready to target enemy troops as they move forward. Just to pause the game for a second here. As I say, if you notice here, this is the Carthage army of Barclayman there that you can see out in the open there, and make no mistake, he's bought that army either to target Macedon, okay, or to target my Greek cities units there. Okay, so make no mistake, that's what he's going to do. And also probably Uther's got his long pikes there to target one of us as well. So it'll be interesting to see what those two are going to do during the course of the battle. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I'd just like to show you a sneaky Barclayman there. Can you see that he's got his 2 elephants out in the open for us all to see? But as we saw earlier, he's still got that 1 elephant unit trying not to hide, because they can't hide in the woods, like, but to keep them away from you know, the general view of the battle there. So he's keeping that 1 elephant unit there, and he may well bring that in later. He could take them over into those woods there, maybe hoping that we won't spot that, and then he could bring that that fresh elephant unit in to maybe towards the end of the battle. So as I say, sneaky Barclayman being sneaky again there. But joking aside, it's quite a good tactical move. Let's say here you can see our teams there, how we've set up there, and you can see there that Get Jacked is moving his armoured cavalry general forward. Right, now you're going to see an old school, old-fashioned tactic here that used to be done years ago all the time, but you just don't see it these days. Can you see how he's running his armoured cavalry general around the battlefield there, trying to attract expensive arrows being shot at him? Okay, now he knows with the specifications of that unit, he is going to suffer absolute minimum damage no matter how many arrows comes in on him there. So he's just running that armoured cavalry general around there, just attracting as many arrows as he can, so that it's basically our guys are just wasting their arrows shooting at him, really, because as I say, he's in open order there. The specifications are so high, he will suffer absolute minimum damage, and you could shoot nearly all your arrows at him there and not hardly cause him any casualties at all. As I say, this is very old school, very old fashioned tactic here. As I say, you used to see it used loads years and years ago when most of us had armoured cavalry generals as our generals, but you don't see it on the modern day battlefield that much these days. But just look how he's just riding around there, look, and our allies there are just shooting loads and loads of arrows at him. Yeah, he suffered a couple of casualties there, but for the volume of arrows that our team have used on that unit, for the amount of damage that we've done to it, it's really just a waste of arrows, really. And look how he's just enjoying it, look, just riding around. And as I say, if you guys have been playing Rome Total War 18, 19 years ago, you would have seen this being done a heck of a lot. It's a very old school, old fashioned tactic. Does it still work on the 2023 battlefield? Well, I think looking here we can see that it really still does. So old tactics and strategies still do work on the modern day battlefield there, as we can see plainly. Okay, at this stage of the battle there, you'll see that got our Macedonian ally there, First Prime. And he's there, he's moved over, look, in front of our Numidian ally. If you remember, our Numidian ally moved to that right centre position, and First Prime moved his Macedonians over in front of our Numidian ally there to give him a bit of protection. Okay, so that's a great bit of teamwork there by First Prime there. Always a good teamwork player he is there, and you can see he's covered his Numidian ally, because I think that the enemy team here will definitely look at Numidia as the weakest link in our team, and could well try to, if they get a chance, to attack our Numidian ally there. And I think First Prime realised that, look, and that's why he's put his Macedonian army in front of them there. You can see here that Get Jacked is moving his Julia army over there a little bit, looking like he's trying to face the Numidians there, if you notice that. So I'm just wondering whether the enemy team plan here is, if they get a chance, they would like to try and hit our Numidian ally, as of course they will look at Numidia as the weakest link in our team, and that's where they could well want to hit during the course of the battle. Okay, at this stage of the battle here, you'll see Get Jacked using the armoured cavalry general once again, harassing, haranguing, mischief, causing disruption to enemy troops. Now, as I say, if I could take you back 18 or 19 years ago, you would see this tactic being used then. And that's why I just think it's so good to see how well it still works on the 2023 RTW battlefield there. Just look at the casualties he's caused there. Look at the disruption, the harassing, the haranguing, probably annoying enemy generals as well. Might make them do rash moves as well, that you see. That's the you know, if any of you fancy bringing an armoured cavalry general, just look at what you could do with it if you did bring it. As I say, most of us switched to an infantry general about 13 years ago, 14 years ago then. But as I say, this is genuinely an old school tactic. As I say, if this battle was fought 18, 19 years ago, you wouldn't have thought anything different there, seeing how well that armoured cavalry general is being used. Still trying to attract enemy archer fire onto it now, look. Still trying to get the enemy to waste their arrows shooting at. Yeah, he suffered a few casualties, but it would be absolutely bare minimum casualties that he will suffer for the amount of arrows that the other team will waste on him. It's you know, he finds that quite useful there, just losing a few of his troops. Right, now here is a controversial move, I think, by GOTW Romex. He is now moving his Numidian legionnaires out behind the Macedonian shield that First Prime put in front of his army there. Now, to move those Numidian legionnaires out in the open like that, I think is an absolute open target there for the enemy troops. I don't know what you guys think watching this. We know that Numidia, as I say, was probably reckoned to be possibly the weakest faction in the game, and he's now, and First Prime covered him with the Macedonians there, but he's now moved out in the open. There you can see Lando's archers there targeting our archers there. Remember, he had 6 archers there with gold shield, gold attack on, and remember those archer auxiliary are elite archers in their own right. They were that cavalry armoured general of Get Jacked still being a nuisance, look, still harassing and haranguing the enemy troops. As I say, those of you that are impressed by the way this armoured cavalry general is being used, how about bringing one next time you play on Rome Total War? Just see how you get on with it. Just look at the casualties that he's caused as well. Right, okay, at this stage of the battle, you'll see that Lando, one of the most aggressive attacking players in the game, is moving his SPQR army forward. Now, for all intents and purposes, it looks like he's moving towards the Macedonians there, probably with a view to throw in loads of pilers into the forward units of that Macedon battle formation there. If you notice there, so you can see he's really running forward towards the Macedonians there. Okay, but I think this is part of the enemy battle plan here. Okay, so you can see him quite convincingly there, moving towards the Macedonians. Okay, and as I say, when he gets into range, he would love to throw loads of pilers into the forward units of those Macedonians there. But I think that was just a distraction tactic there. Can you see he's thrown one unit into the forward unit of that Macedonian battle formation here? But this is their real target. Look, can you see they're going to target our Numidian ally? That's why I said, was that a good move for Romex, moving those legionnaires out there like a bang, as those Seleucid cataphracts of Uther smash into his forward units there. Pause the game for a second here. So you can see here that Uther's cataphracts there have smashed into the Numidian infantry. You've got Get Jack's Julii infantry moving over here. Now Lando wouldn't surprise me if he used his army as a blocking force there to stop First Prime getting any reinforcements over to Romex. Do you see what I mean? That would be a good tactical battle plan there for the team. Okay, so you can see, as I say, poor old Romex there are going to get smashed and crashed there. I'm going to try and bring it. You can see that we've got a left flank, left centre, right centre, and then we've got the right flank here. But this might seem a little bit unusual to you. Can you see Luke is actually moving his infantry away from his ally? Okay, can you see Luke is moving over to the right there, leaving poor old Romex there to take the brunt of the attack. Now on first sight here, you may well feel that Luke is throwing Romex under the bus there by moving his infantry away instead of trying to support Romex there. I don't know what your opinions are on that. We'll just have to see if that was a good tactical move by Luke or not. But as you can see here, just look at those Numidian legionnaires taking that massive cataphract hit, and now here comes the elite enemy infantry smashing into Romex's legionnaires there as well. Just look at that impact of infantry there, and bang, as they smash in there. Just look at that. Poor old Romex's legionnaires won't know what hit them there. In fact, I think they're holding quite well, really, for Numidia against that massive attack. But meanwhile there, you can see Luke is moving further and further away from his ally. Looks like he's just left poor old Romex there, look. And he's just moving round to the right flank. Now, he may well be looking to get in behind the enemy troops there. This could well be a tactical move, but on the face of it, it looks like I said earlier, it looks like he's throwing poor old Romex under the bus there. But we'll just have to see as the battle unfolds. You can see that Romex got his light cavalry there, and you can see that Luke has got his carrier right. Here comes the elephants. Here comes the Numidian elephants there, look. And bang, as they charge in there into the enemy Julii troops. Look at how throw those Julii infantry up in the air there. Remember, not only the attacking specification the elephants got, but the massive fear factor they bring there as well. Unfortunately, that elephant unit's just routed there. But as I say, just looking over the battlefield here, you can see, as I say, if you look at the positioning of the SBQR troops of Lando, he's tried to block the Macedonian units there, getting over to help Romex. Good team battle plan there. As I say, if you look here, you'll see that the SBQR units and some Julii units have tried to block First Prime from getting any of his pikes over to help Romex. So that was a really good battle plan by the enemy there, look, by doing that. So as I say, blocking poor old First Prime from getting any reinforcements over to Romex. And I think now, if you look, all of Romex's infantry has now been routed. Okay, so our right centre has now been broken by the enemy troops there. Okay, you can see there our right centre has now been broken there by the enemy attack. Luke is getting further and further away there, look. Our right flank is over there. Look at the gap between First Prime, myself, right, and Luke. He's opened up a massive gap in our battle line there. Okay, he's got his cavalry there. You can see that Romex has got his light cavalry in wedge formation for more impact and more damage. He's bringing his elephants in there, trying to inflict as many casualties on the enemy troops as he can here, as he smashes into those enemy Julii troops there with his elephants. Look, he's bringing in an elephant unit there. As I say, he's got his cavalry locked and loaded, ready to charge in there as well. And I can see a Seleucid elephant moving in there as well, coming in from Uther. But just look at that Seleucid cataphracts coming in as well. But there you are. You can see the elephants of... just look at the Julii Roman troops, that those Numidian elephants are flicking up into the air with their tusks. And if I remember right, yeah, there you are. One Roman soldier that's been kicked by that Numidian elephant. Look at that, look. Just actually kicked him out the way. I just thought that was quite impressive, seeing that. You don't see that very often on the battlefield, do you? But there you are, and he's crushing the other Roman troops there with his other feet there. But you can see there, and if you notice there, see frightened by elephants. So that when units say frightened by anything, their morale's being sapped. There you are, you can see another Numidian elephant unit coming in behind the enemy troops. Really nice tactical move there by Romex, smashing that elephant in behind. As I say, he's got his cavalry in wedge formation locked and loaded, ready to charge in as well, maybe to assist the elephant charge there as well. If you hit them with a combination of cavalry and elephants there, just look at those elephants coming in behind the enemy Julii infantry there. Look how they rush in, and bang, as they charge in there. Make no mistake, that Julii army of Get Jacks is really suffering quite a lot of casualties there. Oh my gosh, that's a Numidian general who's just been taken down there. I'm not sure if he was taken down by a Seleucid chariot unit there. Let's just pause the game for a second here, just take stock of exactly what's going on. So here, you can see that there are chariots, Seleucid chariots, and Seleucid armoured elephants there, fighting the Numidian elephants. How often do you see that on the battlefield today? You don't see that very often, do you? Seleucid and Numidian elephants actually fighting each other. Very, very rare to see that. And I just thought that adds even more interest to the battle. You've got cataphracts there, like Seleucid cataphracts, Seleucid chariots, and Seleucid elephants there, all fighting those Numidian elephants. So the poor old Numidian elephants haven't got much chance. Here you've got Lando's SBQR cavalry locked and loaded, ready to charge in as well. But I think Get Jack's Julii army has suffered a lot more casualties than maybe he thought he would do. And I think they suffered a lot of casualties from these elephants there. And as I say, Romex has got his cavalry locked and loaded. He's going to charge in there. Look, he's going to charge those fully upgraded light cavalry in like a bang as he charges in there. You can see Luke is charging in a couple of his Brutii cavalry units as well. Look, he's just charging there like a bang as those Romex cavalry charge in there, and then Luke charges two more of his cavalry in as well. Look, bang as they charge in there as well. So between them there, they've done a lot of damage, as I say, to Get Jack's Julii army. You can see Luke has got his 4 cavalry units still locked and loaded over there. His infantry are still over here at the moment. As I say, I don't know whether he's thinking about getting in behind the enemy troops there. He may well think about doing that. But he's kind of fighting a lone battle at the moment, really, isn't he? He's leaving us to kind of do the heavy lifting, the real nitty-gritty battle there as he moves his infantry round behind the enemy troops. I don't know what you guys think there. Now here you'll see that I'm starting to attack with some of my Spartan units there on the enemy Julii troops here. Now First Prime during the course of this battle acts as the anchor of our team with his Macedonian pikes, as you will see. As I say, in this battle I think it's important to have an anchor there. Now here you can see, as I say, Luke's cavalry and Romex's cavalry there have done a lot of damage to the enemy Julii infantry. There you can see some Seleucid cataphracts charging. Right, there goes First Prime charging his companion cavalry in like a bang as that companion cavalry charges in there. And now Romex's elephants looks like they've rallied and they're charging back in as well there. As I say, we're doing a heck of a lot of damage to Get Jack's Julii army there. Right, you can see Lando's SBQR cavalry charging in there like a bang, and you can see some Seleucid elephant unit charging in there as well. So you can see all that charging in there onto the Macedonian cavalry there. So that is a massive hit. It wouldn't surprise me if all that Macedonian cavalry routed. I think it was only gold shield, gold attack there. And unfortunately, there, all of First Prime's companion cavalry has now been routed. Okay, they put up a good fight there. I think they killed a lot of enemy troops, but they've now all been routed there. And I think all the Numidian infantry has also now been routed as well. So as I say, here, things not looking very good. The enemy may well look to try and roll us up from right to left here, as you can see. The elephants, cavalry, infantry there may well smash into our right flank. Okay, but here you'll notice, I say, I'm attacking with half of my Spartans into the enemy troops there. Okay, but tactically, I'm holding the other half of my army back there to neutralise any other attack coming in from those troops. Myself and First Prime there could do a lot of damage to those troops if they come in, but as I say, I'm keeping those half of my army back there for a tactical reason there, just in case we need them against the rest of those enemy pikes and spears. Right, there you can see, as I say, our right centre has been smashed and crashed there, and the enemy have succeeded. There you will see Luke there taking his cavalry round the back of our troops there. Our archers still shooting in to the enemy troops there at this stage of the battle there. I'm firing a lot of fire arrows onto that Seleucid elephant unit there. Remember, fire arrows cause panic with elephants and it can make them run amok. Remember, when units run amok, they go outside of their general's control and they just attack anything, friend or foe, that's near them. So as I say, there you can see that elephant moving in towards our archers there. Can you see that? Can you see the volume of fire arrows there hitting those elephants? You'll see there was a chariot unit there that's been hit by fire arrows. Look, and that's now run amok. Okay, but we haven't quite got the elephants running amok yet. But the more fire arrows we put down onto that elephant unit, the more chances are that elephant unit is going to run amok itself there, which we hope it will do soon. As I say, the moment it runs amok, it goes outside of its general's control, and then that's it. Okay, meanwhile over here, you'll see that there's some Carthage units there attacking our Macedonian ally. Let's pause again for a second here. So, as I say, you can see my half of my Spartan army making inroads into the enemy troops. I've got First Prime covering my back there. As I say, really good team player there doing that, allowing my Spartans to do what they do best, attack, and then he will cover my rear with his Macedonians there being the anchor of the team. Right, meanwhile, over here on the right, far right flank, you'll see that Luke is now moving his infantry towards the enemy troops there. As I say, I think to a lot of people watching this, you might think that he's left his teammates to do the heavy lifting, the real nitty gritty fighting here, and he's just going to come in there and try and get a lot of kills on weakened, tired enemy troops. But we'll just have to see if that's a good tactical move by Luke doing what he's done. Now over here you'll see he's charging his cavalry into enemy archers. That's good news for us, taking enemy archers out there. You get some good kills from killing all those archers, but you can see that Lando's SBQR cavalry were chasing him there. Here you'll see Lando's move some of his infantry over there and may well attack those Macedonian units there on our left flank. Okay, but here you can see my Spartans really making inroads into the enemy troops there, and you can see if you notice here, First Prime really covering the rear of my attacking troops there, really watching out to make sure I'm not being attacked in the rear. That's a really good teamwork there by First Prime there, using the long pikes of Macedon. Okay, let's just pause again for a second here. So over here you'll see that one Macedonian unit was in open order there, and that allows enemy infantry to get in between the pikes, so they've broken that unit there. And you can see Lando's cavalry and infantry may well attack our archers, or they may well just get in behind us here to try and smash into the back of our engaged troops. We'll just have to see how Lando's going to play this. As I say, over here you can see Luke now, he's moving away again from the battle. Look, can you see he's moving over? I don't know if he's trying to get in behind the enemy troops more there with his infantry. That's maybe what the tactic is. He knows the enemy infantry are going to be battle depleted and weakened, and if he smashes in with his fresh infantry, he may well get some really good kills there. Can't tell you how good Romex is doing with his fully upgraded light cavalry there. He is doing a lot of damage to enemy troops there, and it wouldn't surprise me if Numidia got some really good kills in this battle. Bang! Look, as he smashes into those SBQR units, doing extremely well with that cavalry of his. And as I say, it wouldn't surprise me if Numidia got some good kills in this battle. Okay, so here now you can see the Carthaginians starting to attack my reserve Spartan army there. Remember, I was holding that half of the army back. Well, now I'm going to attack those Carthaginians there myself. I'm going to counter-attack them there as they're moving in on my Spartans. Right, let's pause again for a second here. So here you can see Luke has finally decided he's going to engage now, and you can see that Uther is now bringing his Seleucid pikemen over to try and counter Luke's attack there. Okay, you can see Uther's got some very battle damaged cataphracts as well, but you can see there that he's going to try and neutralize Luke's attack. Here you can see my Spartans moving into those Carthaginian units there, covered by Macedonian watching my back there. First Prime there, so nice move there by First Prime. As I say there, here you can see that cavalry of the Numidians there coming in there. You can see, as I say, First Prime doing a very good job of covering my back as I'm moving forward. But as I say, the Numidian cavalry here of Romex doing really well. Actually, it might make some people think about bringing Numidia. You know, with 3 Elis max allowed, you know, in the battle, seeing how well Romex is doing with his cavalry especially. But as I say here, you can see Lando getting his SBQR units in behind us, plus Barclayman's got one of his elephant units in behind us as well. So we've got not just Lando's SBQR units coming in behind us, but we've got an elephant unit coming in behind us as well. May well try to smash into the rear of our engaged troops. We'll just have to see how Lando and Barclayman's going to play this as they get in behind us. Make no mistake, our archers are still shooting loads of arrows into the enemy team as well, so we're causing a lot of casualties there. Just like to show you a great bit of teamwork here. Can you see First Prime here? He's been covering my back all the way through this battle, and he's just brought these 2 units over here, these 2 Macedonian pike units there, to stop the SBQR troops charging into the rear of my engaged Spartans. Okay, once again, great bit of teamwork there by First Prime there, covering the rear of my attacking Spartans there against those enemy SPQR troops, which will have loved to have charged into the rear of my Spartans there. Just say, great bit of teamwork. There you can see I'm fighting in 3 different directions with my Spartans against those Carthaginian units there. And as I say here, First Prime being the anchor of the team. Over here, as I say, you can see Luke, he's probably going to throw a lot of pilers into those Seleucid units before they actually go into combat. He's bringing his cavalry over there. He's got his archers targeting on the Seleucid units as well. You already can see Luke bringing his cavalry over there, but as I say, there'll be a lot of pilers going into those Seleucid. Let's see those massive volume of pilers going into the Seleucid units there. Going to be weakening them before he charges his infantry in. So that is a typical old Roman tactic there. Obviously, weaken enemy troops with the pilers, then charge the troops in there, which is exactly what Luke's done there. So he's now engaging close combat there with the Seleucids. He may well take his cavalry in behind the Seleucids there to charge into the rear of them. You can see Romex has taken his cavalry over there as well. But over here, as I say, you can see that First Prime there has covered the rear, and those SPQR units have retreated, the ones that were trying to get into the rear of my Spartans. But you got that elephant unit of Barclayman there, plus those SPQR cavalry, which may look to charge into the rear, as I say, of our engaged troops there. But there's a lot going on at this moment all over the battlefield here. And as I say, here you can see those Carthaginians closing in on that group of Spartans there, that I'm fighting in 3 separate directions. But over here, you can see the big green wave of Luke's infantry there attacking those Seleucid pikemen. Now Luke's getting his cavalry in behind those Seleucid pikemen there, plus Romex's light cavalry as well. Great bit of teamwork there by the 2 of them, and they're now in behind the Seleucid pikemen, which they're looking to charge in there. Let's see. That's a pretty good move there, I think, by both Romex and Luke with their cavalry. Now here you'll see, you'll see that Lando is taking his SPQR cavalry, and you'll see that Barclayman's taking one of his elephant units there. Now what I think they're going to do here is they're going to smash into the rear of Luke's engaged infantry. Now if that happens, there's a chance that Luke could lose all his infantry. Just look at the way that Lando's moving his cavalry over. This cavalry unit got hooked on a Macedonian pike unit there, but over here, look, he's going to charge in, and bang, as he charges in there. You can see, now here, can you see that sneaky Barclayman has brought that one elephant unit that we looked at earlier, hiding in the woods. He's bringing that into the fray now. A great tactical move there by Barclayman, and he's bringing another elephant unit in here as well. 2 elephant units, and bang, as they smash into Luke's infantry there. Smash into the back of Luke's engaged infantry. What a massive hit there by Barclayman's elephants there. And a lot of those Brucio units of Luke's are starting to rout now from the impact of those elephants. What a nice hit there by Barclayman. Good tactical move there, using the elephants extremely tactically well. You don't have to send elephants in like a tank attack at the beginning of the battle. Hold them back. There you are. Luke's general there has now been taken out, so he's losing general morale bonus there, and those elephants are still sapping morale. There's SPQR units of Lando's, plus there's 1 Seleucid pike unit left, all closing in on Luke's infantry and cavalry there. You can see here Lando's got a couple of his cavalry units locked and loaded here. But if you notice here, my Spartans are really making inroads into those Carthaginian units there. You can see a lot of those Carthage units are starting to rout. And as I say here, First Prime's been covering my back with his Macedonians there all the time, allowing my Spartans to advance into the enemy troops without a fear of being attacked from behind. So well done to First Prime there. As I say, he's been the anchor of the team with his Macedonian army there. And as I say, my Spartans now making inroads into those Carthaginians. And there's Lando's SPQR cavalry charging in there like a bang as it smashes in there, routing another one of Luke's infantry units there. You can see Luke trying to counterattack with his cavalry there. But that was a real battle there, where Luke's general's actually just been killed there. You can see another SPQR cavalry unit charging in there like a bang as it smashes in there. Oh my gosh. What a massive battle there is going on here with Luke's army. but I can see several of the enemy generals are starting to admit defeat now. You can see my Spartans there really pressing in to those Carthage sacred band spearmen there. Luke's just charged into the rear of that one Carthaginian unit. It wouldn't surprise me if he charged into the Carthage general there with that cavalry unit in a hammer and anvil attack. Look, and bang! Luke's cavalry being the hammer and my Spartans being the anvil there. Nice hammer and anvil attack there between the two of us. And it looks like our team has managed to go on to win the battle there. I think if we look round, you can see that yeah, most of the enemy troops I think have been taken out there. I think Numidia's got maybe 2 units left. It's got 1 archer unit left there. Rome's got 1 archer unit left there, I think. And I think if I'm not mistaken, he had an infantry unit left as well. Ah, yeah, there it is. So that's all. That's the entirety of Romex's unit. An archer unit and an infantry unit there. If we look at Luke's army, okay, you'll see, I think he's got 2 cavalry units left there. If we have a close look, what's he got? 2 men. Is it 2 men in that one unit there? And 6 men in that unit. So that's the entirety of Luke's cavalry. Bearing in mind they had 8 upgrades on each. And there is infantry. Oh, he's got 37 men in that. That seems a lot, doesn't it? And how many men in that? And 17 in that infantry. But those 4 units are the entirety of his infantry and cavalry. That's all that he's got left out of his infantry and cavalry. He's still got archer units left over there. But those 4 very battle damaged units is all he's got left in his army there. So I thought he did well coming around the rear there and attacking the tired, battle-damaged troops of the enemy. If we start looking around the battlefield here, you can see where the intense part of the fighting was, just by the massive piles of dead there. See the elephants and the cataphracts and all the other dead troops there. As we move across this part of the battlefield here, you can see more elephants and cataphracts dead there. And as we move across here, you can see, as I say, the intensity of the battle really does show, doesn't it, by the by the piles of dead there. As we move across here, you can see really intense there. So my Spartans were fighting those Carthaginians there, covered by, having my back covered by First Prime's pikes there. And over here, this was this massive Seleucid and SBQ battle against Luke's Julii army there. So as I say, it's a really fierce battle. But don't make no mistake, mind, our archers have been shooting into the enemy all the way through this battle there. So it's a pretty tough battle there. And as I say, it looks like our team has managed to go on to win the battle there. I think we're just finishing off the last of the enemy units that are left there, and there we go. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to say, as always, really well played to everybody in the game. We thought everybody played well there. And as you can see, it was an average victory there. Okay, it's an average victory. Highest kills in the game goes to Luke there, who came in behind the enemy troops when they were tired and battle damaged there, and swept in and got some good kills, so well done to him. Well done to Barkyman. Possibly didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but I thought he played really well with Carthage, especially with his sneaky elephant attacks. Well done to Get Jacked, very aggressive right from the beginning of the battle there, attacking our Numidian ally. And well done to Lando, also very aggressive, attacking right from the beginning of the battle there, being a good blocker as well. Well done to Uther. He didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but I thought he was very aggressive there with his army, and he played very well with Seleucus there. So really well played, guys. Really well done. As I say, my Spartans there, not too bad kills, 1,525, quite pleased with that. As I say, First Prime probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but I think he played a very important, if not pivotal part of that battle in being the anchor of the team and watching the rear of my Spartans there as I was enabling me to advance into enemy troops. So well done to him. As I say, he didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but that only tells half the story really. As I say, well done to Luke, highest kills in the game there. And just look at the kills that Romex got with Numidia. 1,107, I think, is that the 3rd highest kills? There you are, Numidia, 3rd highest kills in the game. So it just goes to show, doesn't it, if you just tweak the rules a little bit, 3L is max, look what Numidia can do. Look how diverse our team was. Greek cities, Macedon, Rome and Numidia. And the other team was Carthage, Rome, and Seleucid. Looking at both teams, do you think that either team had a faction advantage there? which team do you reckon had the best faction advantage? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the little bit of RTW history I gave you about the Coral Clan and First Prime. I just thought you might find that a little bit more interesting, like, and I hope you enjoyed the battle as well. Your Spartan Commander saying bye for now, see you soon, and bye.